In today's Pet Advice, Dr. Amy Guernsey is joining us by Skype. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we're talking about blue-green algae today, so let's start with the basics. What is it and where is it found?
Blue-green algae is actually a kind of bacteria, so not really a plant, although it can look like it. It exists in bodies of water, generally lakes and ponds and even just ditches along the side of the road, where the sun has heated up the water and there's an ample supply of nutrients available. In large numbers, these blue-green algae can make what are called blooms. Those blooms can look like plants, which is where the name kind of looks like. It looks like a scum or an algae that floats near the surface of the water. It can range in color. It can be a bright green, a blue-green, or even a brown or reddish tinted kind of scum-looking thing. But it's a bacteria.
Well, how harmful is it to people or pets?
So if an animal or a person gets it on their skin or their coat or ingests it, it can be very toxic depending on what kind of dose they get. The vast majority of this kind of bacteria are not toxic, but it's the species that produce toxins that you really need to worry about. They can produce neurotoxins, which you can end up seeing things ranging from basically seizures to acute death. They can produce liver toxins, which can also cause pretty rapid death as well. So it's a very serious thing that you want to try to avoid.
Well, what should we do if we think that our pet maybe has been exposed to it?
Decontamination and supportive care are critically important. Even if they've got it on their coat, it can be a concern. So getting to a vet right away and notifying the veterinary personnel what you think it is so that the veterinarian and their staff can protect themselves as they're decontaminating your pet. And what I mean by that is usually first step is a thorough bath to get everything off the animal. And they'll do that by also wearing protective coverings on themselves. If the animal has ingested the material or the algae, getting them to vomit it back up, or maybe a gastric lavage, which in layman's terms, stomach pumping, to get as much of that material out of there. And then supportive care, watching their liver values, making sure they're not getting anemic, putting them on fluids, and just doing what we can to help them get through that and hopefully survive.
Is there a way that we can find out if this is a problem in our area before we head out to the lake?
Yeah, so the Kansas Department of Health and Environment actually has a website that tries to update reports of blue-green algae blooms in our area. But certainly, it can't always be up to date by the minute. So if you're out at the lake or out at the pond and you see an area of stagnant water that has some questionable stuff floating in it, just don't go in it. Don't let your dog swim in it. Don't let your dog drink it. Avoid it. Go somewhere else.
Okay, Dr. Guernsey, thank you for being with us this morning. And if you'd like more information about University Veterinary Care Center, just head over to universityvetcare.com.